But this is this. You have not to tell me during the. Now let's start this presentation of mine. I was looking into it that what is this open and distance learning? When you look into the literature, you find that it is the outcome of the realization that adult population across the world also need opportunity for education at all levels. This is the beginning of the idea that we should have open and distance learning. There is a huge adult population across, and I'll tell you, what is the pressure of this adult population. Say, for example, if we look at our countries around us, South Asia, and we look at the adult literacy levels in countries around us, जो हमारे आसपास के देश है, उनमें adult literacy कितनी है? बांग्लादेश में 56.8% है, हमारे देश में भारत में 62.8% है। ये जो ब्रैकेट्स में आपको फिगर दिखाई दे रहे हैं, ये 2002 के हैं, और जो ब्रैकेट से बाहर है ये 2005 और 10 के बीच में 15 एंड अबव ओल्डर का जो डाटा हमें मिला है फ्रॉम द रिपोर्ट, ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट रिपोर्ट। नेपाल में 60.3% लिटरेसी है, पाकिस्तान में 54%। इट इज श्रीलंका जहां बहुत ज्यादा है, अदरवाइज ऑल्सो लिटरेसी उनके हाई है। इट वॉज 72% इन 2002 टू एंड नाउ इट हैज गॉन टू 91.2%। मतलब श्रीलंका को छोड़ के जो बाकी देश है, काफी संख्या लोगों की है जो अभी लिटरेट नहीं है, अडल्ट लोगों की 15 साल से ऊपर की। हमारा दूसरा जो है कारण जिसके लिए हम the second thing, so this is one is adult literacy, the second is drop out। जैसे हम स्कूल ड्रॉप आउट की बात करते हैं, who come to us, let's have a look at that what it is। अगर आप देखेंगे ड्रॉप आउट रेट, जो मैंने अगेन ह्यूमन रिसोर्स डेवलपमेंट रिपोर्ट से ले ली है, विच इज 2013 ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट रिपोर्ट, प्राइमरी स्कूल का जो उन्होंने परसेंटेज ऑफ द प्राइमरी स्कूल कोहार्ट को करके निकाला है 2002 से लेकर 2011 तक। दिस इज द रेफरेंस फॉर दिस रिपोर्ट। बांग्लादेश 33.8%, भारत में 34.2%, नेपाल 38.3%, पाकिस्तान 38.3%, अगेन श्रीलंका इज स्लाइटली डिफरेंट 1.4%। मुझे लगता है ये दोनों मिला के, एक तरफ से हम अगर अडल्ट लिटरेसी लेवल ले लें और दूसरी तरफ से प्राइमरी स्कूल ड्रॉप आउट ले लें, ये हमारा मेजर चंक बन जाता है फॉर विच ओपन एंड डिस्टेंस learning institutions have to pay their attention. This is necessary. ये आसमान से नहीं आता है कहीं से, it doesn't come from the sky. We have to have that realization. अब बच्चे जो इसमें आ जाए उनको भी ये realization होना जरूरी। आप ये समझ लीजिए कि आज वीसी साहब लेक्चर दे रहे हैं, आप देख रहे हैं कि what is distance education, जो एक प्रश्न उठता है, and this is a question we face quite often, what is this distance education? मैंने एक साइड में दिखाया, ऐसे ही छोटा सा एनिमेशन डाउनलोड किया है कि एक बस आती थी स्कूल बच्चे को लेने के लिए। That's what how education used to take place. Now it is the institution of learning going to the learner. वो बस नहीं आती, हम ही बस लेके उनके पास जाते हैं। अगर हम जनरली इसकी बात करें कि ओपन एंड डिस्टेंस लर्निंग क्या है, व्हाट इज डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन, अगर हम इसको शब्दों में रखें, एंड इफ वी वांट टू डिस्कस दिस, दैट डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन सिंपल, आप याद रखिएगा, ये टेक्स प्लेस व्हेन ए टीचर एंड स्टूडेंट, चाहे आप उसको लर्नर कहें, चाहे आप उसको स्टूडेंट कहें, ये टीचर और स्टूडेंट जो है दे आर सेपरेटेड बाय फिजिकल डिस्टेंस, आपस में सेपरेट है फिजिकल डिस्टेंस से, और इस फिजिकल डिस्टेंस को कम करने के लिए, इसको भरने के लिए वी यूज टेक्नोलॉजी, चाहे वो वॉइस की हो, चाहे वीडियो की हो, चाहे डाटा की हो, चाहे प्रिंट की हो। often in concert with face-to-face communication. To bridge this gap, to narrow down this gap. ये जो face-to-face communication हम कहते हैं, इसमें अपने ओपन एंड डिस्टेंस लर्निंग में इसको हम काउंसलिंग कहते हैं. काउंसलिंग सेशंस आर द फेस टू फेस कंपोनेंट ऑफ ओडीएल. तो आप इसमें जब इस सिस्टम में आते हैं, यू शुड बी वेरी क्लियर अबाउट इट दैट देयर इज a distance. The teacher and learner, teacher and student is separated through physical distance. And this distance is bridged by, चाहे हम आपको print material भेजें, चाहे हम आपको we'll give you a video program, we'll give you an audio program, we'll send you data, we'll do many other things, we'll use technology, we'll give you CDs, we'll do anything. तो हम उसको bridge करते हैं. This is a common layman's acceptable definition of when we say what is distance education. आगे बढ़ेंगे हम. कौन जाता है? Why distance education? क्यों इसकी जरूरत पड़ी? Apart from जो हमने कहा अभी adult literacy rate, school dropout rate, I think basically it is those who for several reasons cannot join the traditional institutions like school, college. जो किसी भी वजह से, किसी भी कारण, for any reason, for any कारण, they are not able to join the school, the college and the universities. ये उनके लिए. अब एग्जाम्पल अगर हम लेते हैं, कुछ ऐसे लोग होंगे, there are a lot of people like that, for economic reasons may opt for employment. अपना 8वीं 10वीं पास कर दिया और नौकरी, क्योंकि उनके इकोनॉमिक ऐसे कंडीशंस है, वो गरीब है, नहीं आगे बढ़ सकते. मोस्ट ऑफ देम मे स्टिल विश टू इम्प्रूव नॉलेज एंड क्वालिफिकेशन. जाते तो है मजबूरी की वजह से, लेकिन चाहते हैं कि हम कुछ आगे भी पढ़े. बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे. और those who remain unemployed after college, एक बहुत बड़ी कैटेगरी है. अरे कॉलेज में बीए तो मिल गया, लेकिन यार नौकरी नहीं मिल रही. वी आर नॉट गेटिंग द एम्प्लॉयमेंट इवन इफ आई हैव अ बीए डिग्री फ्रॉम द कॉलेज. वो क्या करते हैं? दे परस्यू वोकेशनल टेक्निकल एजुकेशन ट्रेनिंग डिप्लोमास, ताकि उनके पास एम्प्लॉयबल, सो दैट दे गेट एम्प्लॉयबल स्किल्स विच विल हेल्प देम टू गेट द एम्प्लॉयमेंट. ये भी एक बहुत बड़ी कैटेगरी. इसमें वो भी आते हैं, जैसे कल ही हम बात कर रहे थे, अपने जो जवान है इन द आर्मी. अब उसमें क्या है कि वो लाखों की तादाद में ऐसे, और दे रिटायर एट अ वेरी यंग एज. बहुत ही यंग वो रिटायर हो जाते. अब वो क्या करें? वो चाहते हैं कि उनके पास कोई ऐसी क्वालिफिकेशन हो, दे शुड हैव सम क्वालिफिकेशन, सो दैट इवन आफ्टर रिटायरमेंट दे बिकम एंगेज, प्रोडक्टिवली एंगेज्ड. तो ये बहुत जरूरी है कि उनके लिए भी किया जाए. So they also fall in that category. और एक और होता है, there are people looking for opportunities to acquire knowledge and skills. कोई ऑलरेडी मैनेजर हो, MBA करके और आगे बढ़ना चाहता है, we call it vertical horizontal, जैसे भी उसको वो चाहते हैं मोबिलिटी अपना करना चाहिए, भी होती है. और भी एक कैटेगरी आ सकती है, एंड लेट अस एडमिट इट, कि कन्वेंशनल एजुकेशन सिस्टम की लिमिटेशंस है. The limitations imposed on the conventional system, कि बहुत भारी नंबर वहां नहीं जा सकता है. There are thousands of students who do not get admission in the conventional system. रह जाते हैं पीछे, नहीं मिलता है. कट ऑफ रेट जैसे दिल्ली में बहुत ज्यादा 99% तक चली जाती है. पढ़ना चाहते हैं, उनके लिए ऐसा कोई वो नहीं है जगह. They also opt for open and distance learning system. So this is why open and distance, or why distance education becomes very important. ये आपको याद रखना बहुत जरूरी है कि आप किसी भी कारण से, बहुत सारे हमारे पास है जो who are placed very high, chairmen of some companies, managing directors of some companies, major generals, they opt for us. Do you understand? This is what it is. In between, I'd like to show the face for a minute or two and then go back to it. So this is where we, what is the basis of this? And it's very important that you know, number one, what is distance education? And then also you know why this distance education is there. Now let's move further. हम आगे जब बढ़ते हैं तो एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन जो हमारे पास आता है कि हमारा क्लाइंटेल कौन है? Who is our clientele? Particularly, let me talk directly about IGNOU. Who is my clientele? Let me see. Who are my learners? एक पहली कैटेगरी जो मैंने देखी, इट्स ए ट्रेडिशनल टीनेज स्कूल लीवर. जो एक टीनेज है, स्कूल लीवर है, जो मैंने अभी कहा, चाहे वो ड्रॉप आउट हो, चाहे वो कुछ हो, वो चला जाता है इस सिस्टम में, हमारे सिस्टम में आता है. हम उसको ऐसा देते हैं कि आप बीपीपी ले लो, आप आ जाओ इधर, आप कोई थोड़ा सा स्किल डेवलपमेंट का कोई ले लो.
Their number has increased over a period of time.
And their number, I am told that their number has increased over the period of time. So this is my client. Please understand, and I want to make it very clear to rest of the world. This traditional teenage school leaver cannot go to any university in the world except coming to the Open University. There is no scope for this category of people to go anywhere and join any university other than Open University system. Let's be very clear about it. Second, we have those teenage learners forced into labor market. Majburi hai. For economic reasons, for poverty, for number of other reasons. Even those, girl students who for various social inhibitions are not allowed to continue their education. I think answer lies with us. Answer lies with the Open University system. Let you understand and let the world understand. इसी तरह एक तीसरी कैटेगरी, थर्ड कैटेगरी, वी हैव पीपल, जो मैंने आपसे कहा, वी हैव डिफेंस पर्सनल, वी हैव नेवी, वी हैव एयर फोर्स, वी हैव सेंट्रल रिजर्व फोर्सेस, जो अब वहां काम करते हैं. I mean, you can't think of, how can they acquire knowledge, how can they acquire qualifications while they are on duty? Separately, they can't go to any college or university and all. They will have to opt for our distance learning mode. कि शाम को उनको टाइम मिले, पढ़ें और आगे बढ़ें. It's a huge category of people. And we have to take care of them. जब वो हमारे देश की रक्षा करते हैं बाहर, तो हमें भी उनके जो their needs, we have to take care of them and we are there to help them. इसी तरह एक कैटेगरी है जो मैंने कहा आपसे, न्यू लर्नर्स, आप हो सकते हैं उसमें, who as adults want education training for horizontal and vertical mobility on their terms. Lot of people join various professional diplomas, MBAs, BCA, MCA. They want mobility. जो उनकी आपस में जो उनकी मोबिलिटी है, जहां वो आगे बढ़ना चाहते हैं, on their terms, कि मैं अपना नौकरी, I will continue with my occupation, I'll continue with my job, but at the same time, I would like also to improve my qualifications. And finally, there is one more category which has recently emerged. नई एक category वो हो गई है, and that category is what we call as digital native. ये वो category है learners की who prefer distance modality to four-wall regime. ये नहीं चाहते हैं कि साहब क्या हम किसी चार दीवारी में जाकर पढ़े. एक अच्छी एग्जाम्पल जो आती है मेरे सामने जब मैं इनको डिस्कवर कर रहा था, कि सपोज देयर इज अ लर्नर एंड ही इज एट सम एयरपोर्ट एंड ही इज वेटिंग फॉर अ फ्लाइट and the flight is delayed by 3 hours or 4 hours. Now this learner wants immediately to open up his laptop and start learning. Now he is a category who want to change his launch, airport launch into classroom. By virtue of our technology, by virtue of our virtuality of distance education जो हम move कर रहे हैं ahead, we reach him right in the launch. And he utilizes, ये जो 3 घंटे उसको फ्लाइट के लिए इंतजार करना, he utilizes them for education. So this is a type of a category which we have, and this is where we have to address all of them. Maybe more categories get added, because my own regional directors who will be communicating with you, maybe more and more information is with them to add to these basic categories. Now, if we go to the next now, if we look into it now, one message which I want to give you: distance education is a modality that provides immense benefits not only to the learner population but also to the society as a whole. What does it mean? It means that when you go for a college, when you go for a university, your purpose is limited for a particular degree. एक particular degree आप लेना चाहते हैं. So your whole concentration is on that particular. And the university is also concerned, particular institution, that I have to offer BA, MA, MSc, this within this period of time with this given syllabus and things like that. So they remain confined to that education. जहाँ distance education की बात आती है, how we become relevant to the society, if we come to know that there is an emerging problem in the society. Say for example, suddenly I come to know that HIV/AIDS जो है बहुत ज़्यादा इसमें फैल रहा है, and then we have to make an educational intervention. Within no time we develop a program जो हमने किया है HIV/AIDS पर एक certificate program, diploma program, or similar other things which say for example, tomorrow if we discover that a police personnel going across, they want to be trained for anything else, we develop a program for them and do it. So ये जो एक modality है, a distance education provides immense benefits not only to the learner but also to the society as a whole. So its scope is much more wider than traditional university education or university system. Now, when you look into it, how is distance education imparted? It's very important, and particularly for new entrants to the system, it is necessary for you to know कि हम कैसे इसको impart करें, कैसे हम ये जो शिक्षा है हम देते हैं. I think what we use in distance and open learning system is a multimedia approach. Now this multimedia approach, there are 2 or 3 components to it. 2-3 component है इसके. One, it has self-instructional or self-learning material which you get as a student in the shape of a block. Block is A4 size booklet, and this is what we call as the print material. This print material, where the teacher is inside the book, is supplemented and reinforced by audio video package, where we have audios, where we have video programs, where we have eGyan Coach, where we have Gyanvani stations, where we have teleconferencing, where we can send sometimes compact discs to you. So any student who has gone through the materials, his knowledge is supplemented and reinforced by audio video program. Third is the counseling. Counseling which takes place at the study center. Let's go a little bit in detail कि ये approach कैसे खुलता है. Self-instructional material or self-learning material. Please understand, I was only yesterday talking somewhere. It is not a book. Let us be very clear about it. It is not a textbook. It is where we have demystified the textbooks. I'm repeating it. We have demystified the textbooks. And our material is self-contained, which essentially means that agar aap, if you are residing anywhere in the remotest part of the country or anywhere, and you don't have access to any other material at all, our material is sufficient to give you that minimum basic knowledge for that diploma, degree or certificate program which you have opted. That's called self-contained. It is self-explanatory, where the teacher is as if teacher is talking to you. It is self-directional. After though you read 2 or 3 pages of self-learning material, suddenly you say, come on, let us ask questions to ourselves, aapko, whether you have been able to understand, aapne samajh liya ki nahi. It is self-motivating. It is self-evaluating. There are in-text questions in it. So you evaluate your knowledge yourself. It is self-learning. आपको किसी टीचर की जरूरत नहीं होगी. That is the material. It is not a textbook. It is not that what was in correspondence course. Correspondence course में तो यही चीजें होती है. उसमें जो normal any student who goes to a normal college or university, he correspondence course student also reads the same books what other college students read. The only exemption given to a student in the correspondence course was that he is exempted from physical attending the class. That's all. Baki subway. Here it is different. It is not a book. It is a material which our syllabus called instruction isme self-learning material. Now, audio video component hai iska. What happens that in this audio video component, jab aapne, when you have read this self-learning material, you have gone through it, we want to reinforce, supplement this learning through jo aapne liya through audio video program. So audio video program is not something on its own, independently existing. It is to reinforce and supplement the self-instructional or self-learning. Suppose, for example, if I go to my subject, we have a rural development. I am teaching you rural development. And I want to give you some experiences from the field. So I bring those experiences through video programs, through audio programs. So it is reinforcing and supplementing. Third important thing is what we call as counseling. Now counseling is, as I told you, this is the face-to-face component, interaction component. Face-to-face interaction component. It helps us to address those concerns which still bother the mind of a learner after going through the self-learning material and watching and listening to the video. मतलब एक learner reads the self-learning material, a learner watches the audio-video program, but has still some questions to ask, which are bothering him, or he wants some sort of a little bit of a guidance. We have to provide him that counseling session at the study center level. It is not a teaching. It is not the teacher coming and taking a class. It is counseling. In fact, counseling, actual counseling session is where the student starts first and then the teacher responds, rather than teacher coming to the class. So this is what we call as the multimedia approach. I think it's very clear to you as a newcomer to the system, and you should understand. The more you understand it, the more you stand appreciating this ODL system. Now, if we move further, there are typical terms which are being used in distance education, and it is necessary. It is necessary that in the beginning itself, we explain to you what are those terms. Because I remember when I joined this university 22, 23 years back, I was told that, you have to receive a block. And I thought, block is something else. I didn't know what this block means because I knew only the English, translation of a block. But here it meant something else. A unit, it meant something else. So we had to acquaint ourselves with the new terminology. I want you also to get a feeling of what new terminology is. Let's go. First encounter you will have, what is a program, which we call. Program is a combination of 1, 2, 3, 4 courses in a particular field of study. Suppose there is a master's degree in English. It consists of 2 or 3, courses, or 5 courses, or 7 courses, which together makes it as a program. So a program is divided into a couple of courses. Now what is this course when we say a program is divided? A typical distance education course, typical, consists of a number of texts. मतलब जो आपको, again we'll come to that block or something like that, we'll come in a second. That means that self-learning material, audio video part of it, contact or counseling sessions, assignments and project work. Combination of this makes a course, because when we assign weightage to the course, kitne credit ka hai, we take into account all these things. So course is not only 2 blocks, it's not only 3 booklets, it's a combination of the text material, how many audio videos are there, how many counseling sessions are there, how many assignments are there, how much of, is there any project work. The combination of all makes it a course. Now we'll go further. The block, very complicated. I should have come to the block first itself. A block, ये जो course है, a course is divided into blocks. If you ask me a simple, what is this block? It is the physical manifestation of the print material. And it gets manifested in A4 size. हमारा standard A4 size है, around 60 to 80 printed pages, 12 font में. That is what consists of a block. And this block, when you take that block, physical manifestation, जो मैंने आपको दिखाया अभी, and that block is also divided into couple of units. It's a division, it's a chapter, it's a section, whatever name you want to give it for understanding. At one level in terms of the theme, at some other level in terms of the topic, and some another level at the material used to teach the topic independent lesson. ये जो unit है, it's approximately, roughly 5,000 to 6,000 words on an average. Okay? So you have a unit, couple of units put together in a thematic way constitutes the block, couple of blocks put together constitutes a course, couple of courses make a program. Is it clear? I think it is. Very simple. What is credit system? We talk about credit system in open distance. On an average, a certificate program, हम 3 ही को लेते हैं. A certificate program somewhere between 16 to 18 credits. A diploma 30 plus. Why I'm saying 30 plus? Sometimes the combination of various courses makes it 32, makes it 34. 30 से कम नहीं होना. A diploma demands 30 credits. It could be 32, 34, even 35 sometimes. Whatever, it depends upon. Masters 60 plus. Similarly, we have bachelors, I think,
96 credits.
96 credits. Bachelors is a 96 credit.
Professional bachelor's degree, 128 credits.
128 is professional bachelor's degree. So, it varies from one to another to another. Anyway, how do we, I'm not asking you to do that, but you should have an understanding how this credit is calculated. That's very important. A very rough sketch for those who have not, paid any attention to this. 1 credit is 30 hours of student time. Okay? A unit on an average, जो मैंने कहा आपसे 5,000 to 6,000 words, a unit on an average has 9 to 10 hours of student, takes, that 5,000 words takes 9 to 10 hours of student time. It could be here and there. It could be faster or slower. We are just talking of an average. A block consists of, on an average, 5 to 6 units. So thus a block takes 8 into 5, 40 hours. Okay. If you add 3 audiovisuals plus 2 to 3 counseling sessions, they may constitute about 10 hours. So in all, if you calculate this, this becomes 60 hours. Now a course consisting of 3 blocks, 60 into 3, 180 hours. And if you want to make it 180 hours, divide it by 30 to make it a credit, it comes to 60 credits. 6 credits. This is, depending upon the client, depending upon the nature, but this is rough calculation how we have to make it. Let's go further. What is our instructional system? The student learner is in the middle. We give you straight, this self-learning material आपके पास है. This is the material you have. You call it self-learning material. You call it, self-learning instructional material. You call it audio video. This is one component where we reach you. Then we go to your regional center, academic and other support at regional and study centers. That is counseling, that is teleconferencing. So you get all this, again reinforced by counseling and teleconferencing, which takes place at regional or study center. We also have on the other side, on this side, we also have, when we talk of this side, we have an evaluation system, evaluation methods and modules. We have assignments as a continuous evaluation. We have term and examination. We have also projects. They all form, the evaluation part of it. And then we have the feedback or the results. Ideally, it should come either from counselors or from public or from our own regional centers. We need to have this. I am strengthening now this. We need to have a regular feedback system from our delivery mechanism. That means all the regional and study centers. It's becoming weaker. You have to feed regional and study centers have to feed us with all the necessary feedback data, not only confined to the other data which we ask for. This is an instructional system, what we call as an instructional system. I think more or less this is when you get into the system, you get into it. Now, since we are here and since you are getting into a new university, it is also necessary, and I consider it very, very important, that we expose you quickly to what is IGNOU at a glance. I don't want to go into detail. If we have to say IGNOU at a glance, okay, let's move. Now, if we see IGNOU at a glance, we say 400. Actually, we have around 240 programs on offer today. I'll have to correct this type of thing. We will have not 3,500. We have around 2,400 courses. Again, this data needs to be corrected. But this varies. If we take all those programs whom we have closed down for low enrollment or for any other reason, the number may come to the same. So you don't have to bother about that thing. We have, if we take it the current minus July 2030 data, more or less 3 million students as a cumulative student strength as on today. I can tell you this is valid. We had around 6,96,000 students registered, re-registered in July 2012 and January 2013. We'll see that how we perform this. I think in this July we have performed well. We have around 4.5 lakh students who have registered or new entrants. And if we are waiting then for the January admission, and then this slide will be replaced. But what I'm sure will be achieving. I'm not very much concerned with graph is going high, I will be more concentrating on the quality. But it so happens that if we, in a proper environment, in a proper shape, if we reach the students, more and more students would like to join us, provided we are able to deliver what we are expected to deliver. We have not been, and that has been one of the reasons for student dissatisfaction. We have around 54,000 academic counselors. These are the people who take academic sessions. I'm paying very, very special attention for the training of these counselors. We have drawn up a long program with STRIDE, Regional Services Division, and the concerned school, and we will be meticulously implementing those programs. And we'll see that the counselors, particularly starting with all those counselors who have been newly appointed, are fully trained and geared up to take up their assignments. That is a step towards quality. Now, we have around 67 regional centers across the country. If you look into it, you just see that, we are spread across the country. We have 47 plus 9. Now they have become together because now we are merging, Northeast also with the mainstream. So we will have this together. And then we have around 6 Army recognized regional centers, 4 in the Navy, 1 Assam Rifles. We may open with the Air Force. But I'm sure that in the coming days, a number of more Army regional centers are going to be opened up, the way we have been discussing with them. So it is going to be, the regional services is going to be getting much more strong. Now, if you look into it, we have 3,380 learner support centers. This is the study center network at the grassroots level, traditionally called student support service, study center, and we call them in new terminology, combining various nomenclatures as learner support centers. You call them with any name, I'm not bothered about that, as long as they provide you the service, whatever the nomenclature may be. We have today 21 academic schools. We have presence in 43 countries of the world through 80 overseas partner institutions or partner centers. If you want to see this, how this is spread, you can see that. 43 countries, 80 partner institutions. And if you want to see the names of these countries, here are the names of these countries. And we have, you should feel happy you are joining an university which has presence in 43 countries across the world, and we have around 54,000 students in these countries. So you are not joining an ordinary university. For all practical purposes, you are joining an international university, and feel proud about it. Yes, we know that we have to address certain things. We have to become more effective. There are a couple of areas, gray areas, which we have to address. We will do that. I'm very confident we'll do that. But let us all feel proud about the institutions which you are joining. As I said, we have 21 academic schools. Initially, we had 9. You can see this: School of Computer and Information Sciences, School of Continuing Education, School of Engineering and Technology, School of Sciences. Then we have School of Social Sciences, Education, Management Studies, Humanities, and Health Sciences. We added, after a decade and a half, 2 more: School of Law and School of Agriculture. So 9 plus 2 made it 11. In last 3-4 years, we have added number of other schools. Now we have the School of Journalism and New Media Studies. We have the School of Social Work, School of Gender and Development Studies, School of Vocational Education and Training. We have School of Extension and Development Studies, School of Foreign Languages, School of Translation Studies, School of Inter and Transdisciplinary. We have the School of Tourism, Hospital Services, Sectoral Management. We have School of Performing and Visual Arts. So in all, there are 21 academic schools engaged in developing various programs which we are offering to all of you. We have divisions. I was last night looking into this. I need to tell you divisions. We have an administration division. which looks after the entire administrative procedures. We have finance and accounts division. We have a regional services division, which is very important, which is responsible for all the regional network in the country, including regional centers and study centers. It's a very huge and important division. We have student registration division, what you call as admission. It takes all care of all the admission. We have student evaluation division, what is called in the convention system as examination division. We have material production and distribution division, which is responsible for producing all the self-learning print materials, which you receive. We have academic coordination division, which coordinates the activities concerned the academics and teachers of this university. We have planning and development division, which helps us in planning. We have international and international division and also a computer division. So these are mostly, generally the divisions which are working other than schools. We also have others like centers. We have Electronic Media Production Center, EMPC, where from we run Gyan Kosh, where from we run Gyanvani, and it is also responsible for helping us to produce, audio video programs. We have National Center for Disability Studies, which is engaged in research and development for disabilities. We have National Center for Innovations in Distance Education. It looks for this. We have a National Center for Local Governance, where we take care of Panchayati Raj, local governance issues, training of elected members of Panchayat, so on and so forth. We have Inter-University Consortium, where we are expected to help through this consortium the other 14 state open universities. In fact, next month we are going to have a conference of the third conference of the Vice Chancellor of the Open Universities. It's a network. You have a network of 14 open universities now, state open universities, along with Indira Gandhi National Open University at the national level. We have a staff training and research institute for distance education. This is the one which is primarily engaged for training, not only for in the country but also internationally. We help many countries in training their staff in ODL, various aspects of ODL. So this is a huge outfit which you will find that at the headquarters you have all this. Few things before I close it, just one or two things, and I would like you to remember these one or two. Just I could have added more, but I didn't have the time. One, as soon as you are admitted to any program at IGNOU, my sincere suggestion is please visit IGNOU website, www.ignou.ac.in. Whatever information we are not able to give you, you will get it from there. If there are any additions and latest news, you will get it from there. Nowadays, it is not difficult to get into the website. But in case some of you who are not in a position to get to the website, please contact our study center, and they will give you access to the website. You can sit for a couple of hours or an hour or so. Go, you can open up. We are going to make it absolutely a student-friendly website, maybe in a month's time. It will completely, its face will change, and you will see absolutely a new website coming. This is one, and please remember this, that this is very, very important. Second, please read program guide carefully. It's very, very important for you to read the program guide, as most of your questions will find answers in the guide. We're flooded with questions from across. I only wish at that point of time that you had read the program guide, because you would have got the answer of what you were asking us, unnecessarily waiting for us. It gives you everything. It gives you, suppose you don't receive the material, what is the procedure? Suppose you have any other difficulty, what type of counseling sessions, what all necessary information is given. In fact, program guide is the basic introduction to your program. And if you do not introduce yourself to it, you will be in trouble. You will be wasting time. You will be writing unnecessarily letters and things like that. This is where I find that a new entrant to the university should take care of it. I'm sure that I have succeeded in getting you into this, but before I close, I want to give you that what we have. As a student, as I said, you feel proud about us, what we have. We have, apart from almost at any point of time, when you see on the left side of it, at any point of time in our all go downs, when we talk about blocks, which I was telling you in a few minutes before, we have almost 1 crore 30 lakh blocks at any point of time stored when we have to distribute the material. Huge. We have teleconferencing ADOSED based two-way interactive, 134 interactive terminals. We have almost produced 5,000 videos so far. We have 2,000 audio programs. We have 1+1 DTH. We have a high definition stereo. Recently, the government of Japan, with its help and aid, has been able to help us convert one stereo into the high definition. I think very few people in India have such a high definition stereo. I wish we can only take advantage and take the advantage of this to all of you as students. We have eGyan Kosh, a national digital repository based here. We have 4 educational channels, Gyan Darshan 1, 2, and so on. We have 38 Gyanvani, radio stations. They are used for radio counseling. I think again, we are going to change the face of it to make them very, very useful for you. There's no fun in having a number of them but not being useful to you. I'm seriously looking into it. We have a project, we call it Pan-African E-Network, where we reach almost 53 countries of Africa. My colleagues deliver lectures from here and it's received in Africa. I fail to understand why can't we have a dedicated such type of a network within the country as well. We will reach you in your house very soon. We're confident about that. We have about 850 downlink centers across the country, which essentially means anybody speaking from the electronic media center, it could be received at 850 stations across the country. We have web-based platform coming up. This is through web-based I'm talking to you. We have my colleague developing Flexi Learning open course portal. That will be the first MOOC in the country. So a lot of technology is available with this university. Lot of things are taking place in this university. So if you are joining this university, I can safely tell you, please feel proud about it. Yes, we have weaknesses. We will address each one of them. Each one of them will be addressed, but give us a little bit of time to address all of them. And I am fully confident that we will come up to your expectations. I think this is where I will say a big thank you to all of you. And I welcome you to the Indira Gandhi National Open University. And this is where I want you to be a part of this great institution of learning. And if you have any questions, even the regional directors, if you have anything to ask on this, I want this will be available to you. I want you to run this when you have induction programs at various study centers. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I think it's not an induction for the students, it is an induction for the RDs and the ARDs also. We are really grateful to you.